This is your daily briefing, and you're most welcome to it. News of an injury already. An allegation that Harry Kane has gone AWOL, and plus some absolute guano on the transfer rumour front. So let's get to it and get through it. Alistair Gold tells us that Fabio Paratici is looking to bolster his defence in the weeks ahead, with Spurs' priority now to sign another centre-back and a right-back before working on players further up the pitch. Will one of those players be Lionel Messi? The Athletic, it's only a pound, have got speculation coming out of the sources back in Argentina that Tottenham could be interested in the Barcelona man in order to replace Harry Kane. One wit on Twitter, I think's absolutely nailed it. He says, the guy's going to turn down the Champions League with Neymar and Mbappe to play Conference League football with Sissoko and Dyer. Also, he'd want £400,000 a week, which I think PSG could do in their sleep, and certainly Manchester City could do without rummaging down the back of a sofa. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Alistair Gold further adds there is doubt over Christian Romero's debut at Tottenham because he's arrived with an injury. Minor injury to his medial collateral ligament in his knee. Is it beyond the wit of man that Tottenham could actually just buy somebody? There's no backstory, no yeah buts, but the player just arrives, gets off the plane, trains, and he's ready to go. That would be so lovely, wouldn't it? Di Marzio. Tottenham and Arsenal are interested in Dusan Vlahovic. To convince Fiorentina to sell the player, the starting point is 60 million. And that, my friends, is the opening shot, the wake-up call, the alarm bell to tell you that we start spending again, and that's coming out of somebody else's money, because we've got to be skint by now. Corriere dello Sport suggests that Spurs are willing to spend important figures to sign the player. We shall see what we shall see. The Express, absolutely shameless stuff here. I don't think they even care anymore. They're just sitting around. Whoever scores the most points for the giggles gets all the money, and they get coffee and donuts for the week. They say that Spurs would consider a Man City offer of 120 million for Harry Kane if City were to commit to at least another 20 million in add-ons based upon winning the Champions League, the Premier League, and Harry Kane beating Alan Shearer's goal-scoring record. The biggest bundle of laughter since the Labour Party offered to give people over 75 solar-powered slippers last time round. Absolute nonsense. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. I think that City are looking to offload players, and we'll and we come to it here now. The Mail. City are willing to offer Bernardo Silva in any deal for Harry Kane, but are prepared to miss out altogether on the deal rather than meet Tottenham's 150 million asking price. I think everybody's actually clutching at straws on the number, but I think a reality is, had ENIC and had City got their heads together a few weeks ago, it might be Villa now staring at which of the City players they wanted in order to make the deal for Grealish to happen. And I think this has worked hugely in Daniel Levy's favour, without him actually doing much apart from ignoring calls and all the usual little stunts and tricks. And I think Charlie Kane has got a lot to answer for here. I think as an agency, they just haven't been on the marks at all. Cribbed this from an email sent in to me, and this shows us how we're up against it on the other side of the equation, and I'm talking about homegrown quota for the Premier League next season. 10 players are currently eligible. They include Alfie Whiteman, Matt Doherty, Ben Davis, Joe Rodon, Japhet Tanganga, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Toby Amole, Harry Winks, Dele Alli and Harry Kane. And Oliver Skipp and Ryan Sessegnon will be eligible for the homegrown status starting next season. And this is the sort of slight on Kane, but it comes from Trix, who's an ITK on Spurs community. I don't have a problem with Trix at all. I think he's in the main very level-headed and just tells us what he's picking up, opposed to being desperate to invent stuff and all that sort of business. But anyway, in relation to when Harry was due back and, has he gone missing and all the rest of it, this might give us some information because it sounds very plausible. That's all I can tell you. I think some are missing the point here. He didn't ask for an extra week. He told us he was taking it. When he was told no, everyone else would be back on time, he just took it anyway. I don't want to pile on Harry Kane, but I think this all goes back to Charlie. If he's in charge, if he's not, then it goes back to Patrick. Whoever's putting their hand up to being in charge of this fiasco, they need to get on it. Harry is supposedly quarantining himself at Hotspur Way in one of the luxurious rooms there. I only hope he's got Levy's office number on speed dial. We need to get on with this one way or another. I know that's marvellous insight, but this has just hit Borsville now and it needs to be resolved. Thanks very much for your attention. Love the comments. Like it if you like it. If you don't like it, don't come back. And whatever you do, remember, keep it Tottenham.